Welcome to the Nissan pregame shift from the Tostitos BCS National Championship in Glendale, Arizona. Dressed in their traditional uniforms. Meanwhile, for Oregon, a costume designed especially for this stage here tonight. Chip Kelly, 2 years, has done a magnificent job. And here come the Ducks. Their fans will explode as they hit the field. The SEC champions, Gene Chizik, also his second year. The ringleader, number 2, Cam Newton. A smile that lights up an entire stadium when he takes center stage. Well, it is that time. The time they've all been waiting for. The time we've all been waiting for. It's the 2011 Tostitos BCS National Championship game. What a long road it's been to Arizona. And for the fans, a long time coming. Undefeated seasons, conference champions, and a Heisman Trophy. Tonight, under the world's biggest spotlight, they play for their schools and they play for their communities. They play for a legacy. And they play for pride.
Don't let me fall. 'Cause I'm gliding up there, oh so very high. That if the clouds were to drop me, then I'd fall out the sky. I don't really know why I'm here. I guess I'm just here for the ride. I swear it feels like I'm dreaming. It's vividly defined, yeah.
So after all the preparation, after all the promotion, and all the hype, the time has come. Number 1 Auburn versus number 2 Oregon. 2 power conference teams conclude their extraordinary path. They meet in this showdown, the 2011 Tostitos BCS National Championship. The Auburn Tigers are on a quest for collegiate domination, and the Oregon Ducks are in a position to win the program's first ever national title. The number 1 and number 2 teams in the country now face off for the most sought-after award in all of college sports, the Coach's Trophy, presented by Dr. Pepper. Everybody's talked about the great offense. Is somebody going to stand up and play a little defense for us here tonight?
Imagine being one of these defenses and being asked over and over, how are you going to stop the other offenses? These defenses are fired up. Nick Fairley leads the Auburn attack. It's been talked about a lot even tonight. The Auburn defensive line has to play well. One way to slow down Oregon is for Fairley and that defensive line to just dominate the line of scrimmage. Fairley's been doing it all year to SEC offensive line. It's one thing about Oregon trying to get the ball to the outside, but if they lose the battle up front to number 90 and company, it'll be a long day. That's why Oregon wants to try to get the Auburn defensive line tired. Fairley will really use power and speed to overpower the offensive line from Oregon. And I think if you're Oregon, you've just got to do a good job of trying to neutralize that strength with that tempo.
Yeah, you know, one thing to keep in mind about Oregon is how strongly they played in the fourth quarter. They may not be as big as Auburn, but they were in shape, these youngsters.
And they have great depth. They play 25 players on defense. They do a good job of rotating in and out. Casey Matthews has got to be able to step up and play well. They got a gang tackle tonight as a group.
Coach Carso.
Bo Jackson and Oregon's Ahmad Rashad represent their schools.
It's an honor to be here this evening. Tonight's commemorative of coin. The backside here with the logo is tails. The side with the helmets is heads. Oregon, your call. Tails is your call, gentlemen. Tails. It's come up tails. Oregon, you've won the toss. But you want to receive the football. Let's go when you defend. All right, swing around over here. Oregon here.
ask you first, moments before the kick, what have you noticed from your guys that you didn't see last year in the Rose Bowl?
I don't know. I can't think that far back. That's a long time for me. But what I notice right now is this team's focused.
What part of your game plan are you most confident in?
We're confident in all of it. That's why we're here.
All right, let's send it over to Tom Rinaldi for more on Auburn.
Thanks very much, Aaron. Coach Chizik, 36 days, practice, preparation. What's the one thought you want these players to carry onto this field?
Hey, I want them to do what we do, Tom. We need to come out here and play just like we have the first 13 games. We're going to be fine.
Thanks very much. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Brett?
I think that some of our favorite moments in all of sport, we get asked that question all the time, the moments just before a championship begins, whether it's football like we have here tonight or basketball. So let's just settle back and watch the Ducks, see what they can do as they return the opening kickoff against Avi and the Auburn Tigers. Kicks it off, and it'll be Huff slipping on the goal line as he comes out. Slips again, and he is down around the 15-yard line. So slipping and sliding and not real good field position coming up here in the opening series for Darren Thomas, Herbie.
Darren Thomas is the X factor tonight for Oregon's offense. I think Auburn's determined to take away LaMichael James and the running of those fleet-footed backs. Thomas is going to have to run and throw to get this Oregon offense in sync.
Got an injured player on the coverage team across the way who is down for Auburn. You see the safety Etheridge standing up. He's one of the young men that you will see on the field all night long, and we get confirmation Chris Davis is down. We're back. Herbie, let's take a look at this injury.
Davis just covering the kickoff and really didn't have a lot of contact. He just lost his footing, and you can see he fell awkwardly, and that was it. But that is a significant injury for Auburn's defense because of the tempo against Oregon. They'd love to rotate a number of bodies in.
LaMichael James motions out of the backfield. They throw on first down, complete to the 20-yard line, and Jeff Mayle, the go-to target, with Washington covering. Barner. And that's quarterback Darren, and a late pitch to LaMichael James. And Auburn was all over the play.
Well, that is a look they've not shown all year. A receiver and two running backs, Barner and James in the backfield together. Mistake there by Darren Thomas. If he just would have lowered his shoulder and gotten upfield, it would have been a first down of the game for Oregon.
So he keeps Barner on the field along with James, and now James motions out again. Shuttle pass to Barner, show to the first down. Stop made by Igwe. Nosa Igwe.
Well, Igwe wasn't even ready at the beginning. He stands up. He's a little confused. Did you see him pointing to the pulling guard, C.E. Kaiser? And then he just recognizes that the ball is on a shuffle pass and lowers the boom on Barner.
It's a bad punt. Bad start. Takes a little bit of an Oregon roll, but Cam Newton is coming out. His journey began in this high school, Westlake High School in Atlanta, Georgia. And he enrolled at the University of Florida. He was with Urban Meyer down there, the backup quarterback. He was one of the Gators. That didn't work out. So he went to Blinn College in the middle of Texas, won a JC National Championship. Now he has come all the way to lead Auburn to an unbeaten season in the SEC, win the Heisman Trophy, but it was not without controversy. And McCaleb coming around, number 23, and on Auburn's first play, the jet motion comes around, and they've got a first down, Herbie.
One thing that Oregon obviously is determined to do in this game is you have to start from the inside out, which means stopping Cam Newton running up the middle leaves you vulnerable to McCaleb on those jet sweeps to the outside.
15 yards for McCaleb. They bring him right back. And this time he is stopped. The defense ready. Spencer Paysinger. 2nd and 10. There's that fake end around. Newton's hit. Ball comes free.
Great job off to the right. Watch Kenny Rowe just get around the attempted block by Eric Smith. Kenny Rowe was a factor last year when this defense tried to face Terrell Pryor. He came up with a couple sacks. Early in this game, he gets around Smith.
Big play for Rowe, who had 3 sacks, Herbie, as you pointed out. It was a defensive MVP in a losing efforts against Ohio State. Now their best blocker comes in. Mario Fannin checks into the Auburn backfield. Let's see what Gus Malzahn whistles up here on 3rd and 17. Far side, incomplete.
But Cliff Harris has got to read the eyes of Adams and get his head turned around and find the football. That time Oregon caught a break. The ball was just a little overthrown. Cliff Harris was beaten there on 3rd and
Shoemaker into punt. An alignment switch to see if they can get the Gunners down. Barner is standing on the 20-yard line. Line drive. Barner's got it at the 19. And he'll be sealed up by the coverage team of Auburn's offense. Comes out under the roof for their 2nd series. Herbie, it was a strange-looking offensive set a couple of times, I thought, for the Ducks on that 1st series.
Yeah, they had a couple running backs and a receiver with the quarterback in the backfield again. Here it is again.
And they come with a fake to Barner. Thomas going to keep it himself. And you give Fairley that much time, and down you're going.
The logic is to bring the defense inside. As a spread offense, you'd think they'd want them sideline to sideline. Chip Kelly going all the way back to his 05 New Hampshire playbook to try to find a little wrinkle to offset Auburn's defense. Not working at this point.
Play action. Drops off a screen to James underneath. James explodes with that great speed. He does not need much of a crease.
He is a great fit to this offense. Everybody thinks he wants to always get LaMichael James to the perimeter on the outside, but he shows great grit, determination, and acceleration in traffic in the interior of that defense. LaMichael James, hard-nosed runner, and he has soft hands, and he showed it right there.
Now he motions LaMichael over to the left side of the formation. Going to come back in underneath, and juggling and holding on is DJ Davis. Davis has become more of a go-to receiver for Darren Thomas as the season progresses for Oregon.
The more you watch the pace of this game and you look at that Auburn defensive line, keeping in mind that fatigue becomes a factor in the trenches, Darren Thomas's arm could be a real weapon tonight for Oregon against this secondary of Auburn.
And Darren keeps it again. Cannot get the edge again, and Washington comes up to finish from the corner. You saw defensive coordinator Ted Roof down on the sideline. Line holds up and intercepted by Washington.
This is why accuracy is so important. The ball is thrown high off the hands of Barner. Sure, he could have made the catch, but Darren Thomas didn't make it easy on Barner. It goes off of his hands and right into the hands of Damon Washington for the first turnover of the game.
Over to the left side of it. And Newton as a running back for the first time here tonight, and he's brought down by Casey Matthews.
Remember, a big part of what Gus Malzahn as a play caller for Auburn wants to do is give you a lot of different looks and see how you respond. A great play by Casey Matthews, one of the leaders of this Oregon defense, gets penetration and makes the play.
There's Gus on the far side, one of the creators of this wide open spread attack that has swept through the college ranks. Play action, guns it, interception, picked off by Harris, a big play corner. Feast or famine with number 13, folks.
Boy, what a great job by Nick Aliotti of mixing up the coverage, confusing Cam Newton and the wide receiver, Zachary. This time they sit back and do a good job with Cliff Harris, who was beaten earlier. This time, eyes on the football. And Cam Newton, I think, expected Zachary to cut that route a little bit shorter. And by anticipating, he threw the football. Zachary did not make the cut, and it falls again right in the arms this time of Cliff Harris. So he had a couple turnovers, part of his national championship. Settle down and play the game.
Barner in motion, gets the handoff. He crosses midfield.
Now when you start to see him usually settle in and just start to play football.
Handoff again on that end-around look, and helmets come flying. Barner was the ball carrier that time, and Mike Blanc made the stop along with Goggins. So already, Herbie, the twos are on the field for that defensive front for Auburn. Just what you've been saying, you got to have rested players out here.
Big emphasis, obviously, for Auburn is rotating bodies up front and trying to keep Fairley and company healthy. This is the biggest and strongest defensive line that Oregon has seen, but they've got to stay fresh.
There's that end around with LaMichael, and he goes for the first down. Terrific second effort. We'll see where they spot
this
it.
This time they read Blanc, the three technique. Usually you see college football, the option attack, they read the in man on the line of scrimmage. This time they read the interior man, Blanc, and great effort that time by James.
So a 1st and 10 for Oregon. We are scoreless in this BCS National Championship game. This is the nation's leading rusher carrying the ball, LaMichael James, and Lamagna comes in and makes the stop. And you can see how we've had two struggling offenses so far. Now Darren Thomas throws to LaMichael for the first down. This is something they worked on over and over in practice.
There's that formation again. Just something a little bit different to make Auburn's defense think by using formations and motion, showing things they've not shown all year. It's making Auburn have to communicate. That time, a little bit of confusion and a nice throw by Thomas.
Nick Fairley back in that defensive front. There's the option look with Barner, and Barner is going to be ridden down. Another Texas freshman on the field for Oregon, Josh Huff, number 4, as Barner has replaced LaMichael. Play action. Drops it off underneath. And a first down with Kenyon Barner.
For the first time tonight, Oregon is getting their offensive flow right now, and Auburn is finally seeing what everybody's talking about facing this no-huddle, hurry-up tempo that Oregon runs. Defensive linemen breathing hard, hands on their hips. It's a long drive that they've got to be out there, and they can't substitute in.
Barner motions out. Pressure. Diving interception number 2, and that's by Zach Etheridge.
He's been the leader of this defense all year, and this is one way to negate that tempo is he gets the pressure. Thomas is forced to throw the ball before Huff is ready to turn around and have a chance to catch it, and a good job by Auburn being opportunistic once again. They've been doing it all year.
Now basically a running play, that quick pitch outside, and that was to Emory Blake. That is Jeff Blake's son. Many of you who follow the NFL remember the remarkable career that Jeff had as a quarterback. Emory went to high school in Austin, Texas, and as the season progresses, he's been coming on. Play action from Newton. Has plenty of time. Adams underneath for the first down. And that stop was made by Lewis.
Great job, an example of Cam Newton not always having to look for the home run downfield. Adams coming from the left to the right on the backside. The patience this time by Cam Newton, allowing him to buy enough time and eventually find his open man. Oregon not getting enough pressure that time on Cam Newton.
And Nick Aliotti has gone to his 2s in that secondary. McCaleb on a pitch. Short of the first down.
Seeing McCaleb's speed out to the edge of this defense. He outruns pacing and gets to the corner. It's just a great compliment to what Cam Newton and Michael Dyer can do to the interior of the defense. It's just a little reminder that if you focus too much on the inside, they can get outside in a hurry.
There's the read, and Newton going nowhere. Safety John Boyette checks back in. He's number 20. He's the center fielder there on the left side of the screen. Newton not going anywhere. He is sacked by Zach Clark.
This is an outstanding job by the Oregon defense on third down in medium. Auburn, as good as there is in a country, good job of containing him. There's nowhere for the fleet-footed Cam Newton to go. They contain him from the outside, force him in the pocket, and Zach Clark eventually closes in.
Auburn's had only 21 yards of offense here tonight. And Shoemaker drives Barner back to the 25-yard line. And he is brought down at the 28-yard line. Turnovers here dominating the story, Irby.
Now, these defenses have shown up ready to play and very well prepared, along with some miscues by both the quarterbacks, throwing the ball into coverage. Wide receivers not getting around fast enough to be able to make a play. These two defenses look very, very prepared as they get ready to face these electrifying offenses.
And he gets the first carry for a couple of yards into the heart of that Auburn defensive line. Oh man, what a rested duck we've got here tonight. I mean,
he must be getting
usually
restless.
He gets what, 50 push-ups by now, right?
Easily.
LaMichael got the edge and a first down before he is brought down by Phillips.
James did a good job up front, getting the leverage that they need as an offensive line. They're overmatched up front, but that time Jordan Holmes, the center, did a good job of sealing.
Play action. Thomas fires out to the wing and complete for a 1st and 10, 2-and-A.
He's playing in some pain tonight. They finally got him back. Tune shaking the coverage there by Etheridge, and that's the thing. If you're isolated one-on-one, you miss the tackle, and that's another 10 yards.
They're finding things on the edge here, Herbie. They go to Paulson, number 42 that time, and that's about 7 more yards. Right straight up the middle. Barner breaks a tackle, and it is 1st and 10. And wouldn't you know it, on cue, they come back and they find the middle.
Yeah, and it's kind of a cat and mouse game with the coordinators on both sides, and Chip Kelly calling the plays. There's some great toughness there by Barner.
Barner hits the second level that time, and they're back in the red zone. Mike McNeil being forced to come up from his safety spot to make stops.
And here comes the tempo from Oregon, sensing a chance. They got too many men on the field from Auburn.
And they caught him. They caught 12 on the field.
Illegal substitution defense. Players did not get up in time. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
There's Blanc, who's just gassed, trying to check out of the game, gets caught. This, again, another time. We talked about the tempo being an equalizer up front from Oregon against Fairleigh and this defensive line. Another example of what they can do when they get you out of position. It becomes mental fatigue as much as physical fatigue.
Under center. Barner on an end around, and Auburn was ready.
Boy, he does a good job of getting upfield in a hurry. Nobody touched him. And Goggins is fresh enough. He doesn't care about the fatigue. If nobody's going to block him, at 6'3", about 260 pounds, gets upfield and senses that reverse and makes a great play.
At time, driven out of bounds is DJ Davis, his second catch of the night. And here they come with a Michael James, and there's Ahmad Rashad. He's the honorary captain of the Oregon Ducks here tonight.
James in the backfield, Barner offset to the left in motion here.
And Darren is stopped by Nick Fairleigh.
This is a zone read, and they're reading Fairleigh. If he hands that off to LaMichael James, he walks into the end zone. A misread on this play by Darren Thomas. If he would have stayed on the ride a little bit longer, given it to James, he walks into the touchdown. The misread allows Fairleigh, who's unblocked, to come down and make the tackle on Darren Thomas.
Oregon strikes first. They're forced to settle for 3. While you were away, Darren Thomas was on the telephone to Mark Helfrich, the offensive coordinator upstairs, going over just what Herbie pointed out, that LaMichael could have scored a touchdown had he handed it off. Instead, he took a big loss. And now we'll see what Auburn can do, trailing 3-0 here in the opening minute of the second quarter. Washington, big-time kick return man, coming back from the 3 for Auburn. And he is short of the 20. Herbie, take us back to that last play and show everybody what you mean.
When you're the quarterback for Oregon, you got to make a lot of quick decisions. Nick Fairley, who's one of the top defensive linemen in the country, is unblocked on this play. You've got to read him right there. If he collapses down, then you pull it out. If he stays wide, which he did, you give it to LaMichael James, and he walks into the end zone. So this time, Darren Thomas, I think, predetermined what to do with the ball. He was so excited to get it outside, to pitch it to Kenyon Barner for potentially a touchdown, predetermining the read, and Fairley took advantage of it.
Now it's Cam Newton's turn. He's been stymied. Only 21 yards of offense in the first quarter. There's Dyer, the freshman running back, and one of the best freshmen in the country, picking up 2-3 yards.
He's called there by Auburn to try to get the defense's read.
Dropping in underneath. And that's Zachary. Second year at Auburn has taken the Tigers all the way to the BCS National Championship game. Now the handoff again to Dyer, and the freshman is making an impact.
This could be the answer here to Oregon and their speed and aggression. Now Oregon's struggling a little bit with their substitution pattern, but Dyer giving this offense a little lift here.
Scott! Basically a run play on that pitch for a first down to Zachary. So he's had 2 quick receptions here.
Coverage, you're seeing this on both sides of the ball. Zachary is a receiver. They just want to get the ball to him in space, almost like a running back, as Brent said. Picks up another first down.
Newton, strike to the middle, and a fine catch by Adams.
This formation is when they try to come out with an unusual look, maybe an unbalanced look.
Trick snap. Fake it, and Newton slips, and he's in trouble, but he gets it off for a first down to McCaleb.
6'6", 250 pounds, loses his balance, doesn't give up on the play. A lot of Oregon defenders in there. Marvin Johnson hanging on to his right foot. Not only does he get rid of it, he picks up a first down with a throw to McCaleb.
Play action fake, tries to throw deep to Blake, and Harris dives for it.
Brett, this is an amazing effort by Cliff Harris. He actually came off of Darvin Adams because he saw the ball in the air. Look at his quickness and ability to come over. That left foot looked like it was down once he had possession of the football. Look at the left foot. Does he have possession? Then he goes airborne and lands out of bounds. They're definitely going to take another look at this one.
Herbie, possession is the issue here.
He did not have possession all the way through. The right hand actually comes down, but they ruled he did not have possession of the football all the way through once he landed. After getting that hand down, it's the right call on the field, and it's confirmed upstairs.
Complete. Touchdown, Auburn. Cody Burns, recruited as a quarterback, converted to a wide receiver, and the evening's first touchdown is Burns from Newton, 35 yards. Wes Byram, the all-time scoring leader at Auburn, tacks on the extra point.
With McCaleb to the outside, and they get to the middle running the football. It makes the linebackers move. See Paysinger moving to the outside. See the seams, the vertical seams upfield for Cody Burns. The defense is so aware of the running threat of this offense and the screen game right there. Eddie Pleasant ran up, number 11. Paysinger ran up, and while they're running up, Cody Burns is running right by them with a vertical seam. And it's a great throw by Cam Newton, and Cody Burns, the former quarterback, makes a nifty move back to the inside, avoids John Boyette, and gets it into the end zone. But the attention to the screen game and all of what Auburn does on the perimeter up front close to the line of scrimmage opened up that vertical seam.
This is Huff coming out. Going to fake the end around, and they gave it to Barner, and he's downed at the 5-yard line. They brought Barner off the wing on a reverse, and Auburn was not fooled. They ate it.
Careful with getting too cute, and I know this is who they are, but he pitches his football as he's almost getting tackled, and they're inside their own 10-yard line.
Eric Smith read it beautifully, Irving.
He sure did. They're very fortunate that Eric Smith did not either jump on top of the football or knock it away. That was not a handoff, just a pitch.
from the end zone. Throws deep down the middle. Got a receiver's mail in a foot race. And Jeff Mail is run out by Washington at the 10-yard line.
Now he's isolated one-on-one against Nico Thorpe. How about the gutsy call here by Chip Kelly? After the miscue on the kickoff return, they get one-on-one with their guy, Jeff Mail, against Nico Thorpe, who's been burned all year for this Auburn defense. They find him isolated, a little play action in the backfield, and pick on him one-on-one.
81 yards. This time they go to the middle with Varner, the ball carrier, and Mike McNeil makes the stop for Auburn. It'll be second down.
Got to wonder what that play may have done for Darren Thomas to just settle in him, be able to get his confidence established. He is such a big part of what Oregon needs to do tonight, not just throwing, but also decision-making and running. That could have lifted him up after that throw.
Play action on the move, incomplete. He overthrew Michael James. Now we have a lineman down. Carson York. Third down and 6 coming up for Oregon. They can get a first down without scoring. Darren Thomas moving the pocket, fairly in pursuit, throws back to Michael James for a walk-in touchdown. They baited that trap beautifully.
What a great call here with the misdirection. Rolls him to the right, gets the entire defense to flow with Thomas. The patience, sets it up with a nice throw back to Michael James, and he walks into the end zone. Well-designed play, again, by the Ducks and Chip Kelly.
They're still going to go for 2. Option look to Beard. Beard dives end zone. Got it. Chip Kelly is flat out a riverboat gambler.
You know, you may say, why would you do that? But it provides a spark. It creates momentum more than you may have already had after the touchdown. But what a drive by this Oregon offense. After the big pass play, Darren Thomas waits just to the right time to get it thrown to the backside to Michael James. Got the aggressive defense to flow off to the right. And again, look at James just wait. Igwe goes by, Fairley goes by. Fairley thinks he's got to play. 2 offensive linemen leading the way, and it's very easy for James to be able to get into the end zone. The 2-point conversion. I mean, you got a holder, and you're pitching the ball to a kicker here. And how about the confidence that Chip Kelly puts in his players in a national championship game by going for 2 and creating some buzz in this stadium that favors the Ducks.
Let's have some fun, man. Oh, yeah. He's ready to do some push-ups now. So Oregon has been ahead twice here tonight. And now they go up by 4 points. It is a high, short kickoff. Washington for the 20-yard line. Bounces off a tackle, far side.
This could be one of the more pivotal plays of the game. Pinned back deep inside their own territory. 1st and 10 from their own 7. Play action, freezing the defense. McNeil to safety just by pausing just a second. It gets the one-on-one coverage that Mayo wanted, isolated against Nico Thorpe, and eventually Washington catches up to him. But the courage to make that call after the fumble, or after the big loss there on the kickoff coverage where they had the reverse attempt set up, Auburn sniffed it out and put him inside their own 7-yard line.
McCaleb. Basically that running play on the outside. And again, it's Zachary. That's his 3rd catch here tonight. Newton hands it to McCaleb. And this will make it 3rd and manageable.
Who knows who's going to win this game? The SEC has won 4 BCS championships in a row. And the big difference in those 4 games, speed. Against the Pac-10 so far in this game, we're not seeing that big a difference in team speed.
Play action. into the middle, and Adams for the first down. Dyer back on the field, number 5, and they ride with the freshman again.
It's so tough to prepare for besides having Cam Newton. All the different formations and personnel groupings. They make your defense constantly make adjustments and communicate, and they're looking for you to make a mistake to capitalize.
So here's Dyer to the 45-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and about 4. Fannon's a good 3rd down back. They can throw to him. He's to the right now. He comes back toward Newton. He's also an excellent blocker. That's what they wanted him for. And Newton throws for the first down to Zachary. Number 81 has become his go-to guy here tonight.
Well, it's 3rd down and 4, and look at the coverage by Cliff Harris. You've got to be able to tighten that up. Cliff Harris can run with any receiver in this game, but you've got to be smart against a quarterback like Cam Newton, who sees that and takes it every time. On 3rd and 4, you got to tighten up that coverage on the outside.
Newton stripes outside, and it is Zachary with that speed again to the 25-yard line.
Outside on the perimeter of the Oregon defense.
Cam Newton's starting to spray the ball pretty well here. He comes back. They don't want to give away from the running game completely. 3rd down coming up. Dyer was the ball carrier.
See Deion Jordan come out of that pile, and he's indicating to the ref that maybe somebody grabbed his face mask, but he was looked like Zimba might have come in pretty high and got a hold of him with the face mask and clubbed him, knocked his helmet off.
Newton keeps it and barges ahead for the first down. Folks, that was the play that epitomizes the strength of Cam Newton and the difficulty that defenses have in bringing him down. One man needs help. He's like a Ben Roethlisberger. He's so strong in the upper body.
And he always falls forward. And it's 6'6", and it's 3rd and short. Put the ball in his hands. He'll lower his shoulder and run right through a linebacker.
Zachary's in motion. Offensive line gave him great time. And he is to the 18-yard line. Good tackle by Kenny Rowe again. And here's the view from our DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam.
Great coverage off to the left. See Darvin Adams. He wants to get the ball thrown to the corner. Cliff Harris was able to sink in coverage, taking that throw away. And then Cam Newton is able to pick up at least a few yards. But a good open field tackle this time by Kenny Rowe out in space. A defensive end showing some nifty moves there as an outside linebacker.
Dyer slips.
Players are losing their footing. It'll bring up another 3rd down here. But Dyer's come into this game, and the coach has told us that he's been able to pick up things as a true freshman, pass protection, catching the ball. A little tough for him. The extra time in this preparation for this game has helped him out a lot, and he's had some chances tonight.
3rd and 8 with Fannin.
Now Oregon's standing up, Brent. They're trying to confuse Auburn's offensive line. The defensive linemen are standing up, trying to just play a little bit, again, cat and mouse game. Who's blitzing, who's not, trying to confuse the pass protection.
Alioti's coming. Newton throws it, juggled, incomplete. Fannin couldn't hold on, and there's a penalty flag.
Offside. Defense, number 58. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
It was a great plan by Alioti to confuse them, standing up. Even Rose lined up on Adams, eventually comes down. Everything's working out perfect for Oregon, except right there. Rowe got a little bit of a head start and gives Cam Newton now 3rd and short after the 5-yard penalty.
And that is the first penalty against Oregon here tonight. Cam and the Tigers need 2.
They're going to call timeout.
I mentioned earlier, Herbie, the Cam Newton story and the controversial side of it. And I'm sure that many of you are aware that his father, Cecil Newton, who actually talked to the Mississippi State folks about having Cam go for, I think it was $180,000 was the figure that was used. Well, for a short time, he was ineligible, but the NCAA restored that eligibility, so that's why he's playing here tonight. But the father, Cecil Newton, not allowed around the program because the NCAA could not find any connection to Auburn. There was no evidence that the father had ever asked for money from Auburn. Cecil Newton is not here tonight. I think he's watching on television. He's in town. But the athletic department at Auburn and the Newtons decided that it was better for Cam if Cecil did not attend that game here tonight. And you know the pressure he was under during the season. Herbie, you talked about it a lot.
I did, and I found it interesting. He and I were having a one-on-one conversation. He said his dad was actually his rock behind closed doors throughout that entire process. If he said it weren't for his positive energy, I don't know if I could have been as positive as I was.
So here comes 3rd and 2. Cam will keep it himself for the first down. An unstoppable force.
He's a tight end with tailback skills on 3rd and short, and he put it into his hands, much like Tim Tebow used to do in a different fashion. But the power to lower his shoulder and run through that defense. Remember, there's only 3 Oregon defenders as big as him on that side of the ball.
Quick strike to the outside. Zachary short of the end zone. Boyette makes a stop, and Malzahn wants to move it now.
When he does that, that means let's go tempo, tempo, tempo. He feels that he's got this defense back where he wants them. Zachary continues to be that threat on the outside, opening up the middle for the running game in the interior.
The freshman Dyer, and he is short of the end zone. Thrown back. Zach Clark was in again on that tackle. Short. Stuffed by the defense. And it'll be 4th and goal. Casey Matthews was in on that stop, the middle linebacker. They're going to go for it on 4th and goal. And Newton steps back, play action, incomplete. Threw low to Eric Smith, and the Ducks will take over on downs.
They drew them in. Newton, he's going to run the ball, right? Boyette collapses down. Everybody thinks he's going to run it again, and he short arms a wide-open wide receiver, or running back anyway, out in the flat. Eric Smith is there for a touchdown. The ball is low, the nose is down, and it goes through the hands of Smith for the touchdown.
This year's AT&T All-American Player of the Year is LaMichael James from the University of Oregon. On behalf of AT&T, we'd like to congratulate LaMichael James and thank all college football fans out there who voted. The AT&T All-American Player of the Year is determined by the fans. And LaMichael and the Ducks lead Auburn here with 3 minutes and 44 seconds remaining in the first half of the Tostitos BCS National Championship, brought to you by the good folks at the Fiesta Bowl. So, operating out of their end zone. Remember that 81-yard pass to Jeff Mayle. Inside shuttle pass to Barner.
Illegal motion, offense, half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
How about the gutsy call by Chip Kelly? The snap's off to the right. Darren Thomas is just holding on to it, trying to get a grip on it, and then the shovel pass in his own end zone.
They'll watch out for 90 here. Reaches out of the end zone. Safety is a signal by the line judge. The line judge coming down signaled safety. LaMichael tried to extend out. Take a look.
Well, this defense was in attack mode this time for Auburn.
Blanc, Mike Blanc from Pompano Beach, Florida, is making the stop for Auburn.
The key here is the entire football has to be across the line. The entire football has got to be across the line. Blanc gets the penetration, which is the key. It's a good effort there by James, but I don't think he got the entire football across that line.
Yeah, clearly he did not. Line drive kickoff to Washington. Fields it at the 15. And he's down at the 34-yard line. At that time, the defense has had time to go over things, and they specialized in stuff. There's a play action, dropping it off to McCaleb by Cam Newton. And McCaleb short of the first down.
We've got to make them pay for that. Early in the game, Oregon had success. Tide's beginning to turn here a little bit for Auburn's offensive line and Cam Newton.
Here's Dyer for the first down.
Preparation has helped, Brent, for these defenses. And we always see it in national championships. We have all that time to answer questions about how do you stop an opponent. It tends to fire you up, and you play with a great deal of passion and emotion. I think both defenses have done that.
And Dyer is starting to make a little bit of a difference in that backfield. First strike to the outside. Blake for 9 yards.
Substituting players on and off the field as well.
Dyer, another first down run. Steps up. Got a man wide open. Blake. Touchdown, Auburn. Byram tacks on the extra point. And Auburn has regained the lead.
This is a good job by Cam Newton of feeling the pressure. A twist up front allowed Zach Clark to come free. And because of the size of Cam Newton, he stepped in front of it, showed his strength, and then makes the throw downfield. Now here's an outside linebacker, really a defensive end in Kenny Rowe, who's out in the flat against a wide receiver and Emory Blake. A little wheel route to the outside and then down the sideline. Once Cam Newton was able to avoid Zach Clark, it was a very easy throw for him to make it to a wide open Emory Blake behind Rowe.
Well, the Ducks have 147 to work with. And here's Barner. Down at the 22-yard line.
Remember, as both these offenses make adjustments, looks like we have a bunch of flags out there.
Looks like there's a little blood there on the side of that face.
Yeah, Deion Jordan's helmet again.
Right there,
yeah.
See?
Boy, that was a shot. It looked like Eric Smith.
Dead ball, personal foul, late hit, number 32, kicking team. 15-yard penalty, first down.
And that was Eric Smith, and you can see him over there with the coach. And let's go down below now to Aaron Andrews.
Hey, Brent, let's keep an eye on LaMichael James, either left foot or ankle. After the safety, he came off the field limping without his cleat on. Wasn't attended to by Oregon trainers, but he still is kind of walking a little gingerly right now, so something to keep our eye on.
I mean, you bet.
That's a big.
How do you like those socks, folks? You like this specially designed uniform? And he's going to go and receive a little attention in the medical room back there, in the locker room area. Quick strike to the outside, and he goes back to Mail, and that's his second catch. Had 81-yarder earlier.
3 timeouts. They have the ball at midfield. They took the ball to start the game after winning the coin toss. A big drive here for Darren Thomas and the Ducks, and a pivotal penalty and mental mistake by the Auburn special teams if they go down to score. Same play.
Exactly. Same result. First down. Ducks move the chains, stop the clock.
This is an offense that on the year took about a minute and 49 seconds to score their average time. So they got a minute 31 and 3 timeouts, and they're already across midfield.
Thomas, far side, incomplete, and LaMichael James circling out of the backfield. I'm not sure he even saw the ball. 2nd and 10. Quick strike, and that is Davis again.
A lot of throws to the outside. These quick throws, you know what it sets up is a fake to the outside, the fake throw to the outside, and then downfield to the vertical throw.
Timeout called by Auburn.
Timeout, Auburn.
Let's just go back to that personal foul that was so costly on the kickoff return. Remember, number 32. Keep an eye over there.
Back in the back there to the left. He goes after Boy. God, he's lucky he didn't get thrown out of the football game. Gene Chizik not tolerating that. Can't raise your arms up after you throw the knee. You wonder if Ted Roof and Gene Chizik that time calling the timeout just to remind their defense of that fake look pass, and then the other receiver who's been blocking fakes the block and gets downfield for the long throw.
They circle Barner out. Here comes pressure. Can't get there, but the defense was ready. Whatever they talked about, Herbie, it worked.
You've got to be able to sniff that out, which is exactly what they did, and bring him down. Wonder why Auburn might not call a timeout here to get the ball back with more time if they stop him.
4th and 10. And they did.
Well, I think coming in, I really expected the two defenses to play pretty well. This well, I don't know. I think what will happen is I think Gus Malzahn from Auburn has got a feel and a little bit of a flow now for how Oregon's trying to defend him, and he's going to be able to draw up some plays on how to attack them in the second half. And I think the same could be said for Oregon and what they're trying to do. Neither running game's been able to get going. Oregon right now, 38 yards rushing. We're almost through a half of football, and they have 38 yards rushing. They're losing the battle up front, and I think that's an adjustment that Chip Kelly's got to make. You've got to get Oregon's running game, even if it's outside, more of a factor, and then you can get the passing game going a little bit more balanced.
They'll let this one go, and it's going to get down inside the 5-yard line.
The thing about the receiver, Jeff Mayo, is he does about everything you can ask for. Gus Malzahn, got to believe inside his own 2-yard line, doesn't have any timeouts left, just being as safe as he can be. Auburn gets the ball to start the second half, up 16-11. Just be smart here and try to get to halftime.
And Dyer gets it out easily. Oregon called a timeout. When we take a look at the two quarterbacks, both certainly have been hampered here tonight by turnovers, but Newton has come on strong here in the second quarter.
He sure has, and I think it's because, the flow of the game has changed. It's allowed Auburn to get some plays out on the outside, some simple throws, but also they lulled him to sleep and hit a home run. Same can be said for Darren Thomas. Both these guys early made some mistakes. I think right now Cam Newton's probably a little bit closer to playing up to where you would expect him to play. You wonder if Darren Thomas is going to be able to continue to progress here throughout this football game and get back to where he can consistently be a threat in this offense.
Of course, the sack counts on your rushing total in the college game. But for a couple of first downs, Newton was strong enough. McCaleb. And there's a penalty flag.
Offside with contact. Number 88 defense. A 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
And now I don't think the Ducks will be using those timeouts.
End around McCaleb. First down. Now the Auburn Tigers can start to think about a little bit about perhaps getting down for a field goal.
Yeah, they have changed their intensity, and a lot of it has to do with the surprise there. McCaleb getting not only big yards, but getting outside there, and then eventually being able to pick up getting out of bounds.
Byram has kicked a 52-yarder in his career. His long this season was at Ole Miss, and that was a 48-yarder. And you can see he's starting to loosen up on the sidelines. Newton throwing deep middle. And the clock will stop. Adams at the 46-yard line. "11 seconds left."
You mentioned the adjustments and what are we seeing here? Wouldn't you agree that Gus Malzahn, one of the adjustments that he's doing is he's finding these vertical seams with this one safety in the middle of the field, John Boyette, who's sitting back playing center field. And what they're doing is they're sending these receivers right into the seams. And again, Newton is showing great arm strength and being able to put that ball in there in between coverage. Now they've adjusted here. They've got two safeties back here, back in coverage.
See if they can get about 10 more yards. Newton doesn't want to run. If doesn't have to, he'll throw it away and stop the clock, and that'll probably do it here.
I agree.
Newton bounces it to the right, gets a block, and he's going to throw it down a la South Carolina. Incomplete, though. Not the same result.
With your running game in the first half, what do you stress to your O-line to get it going?
We got to block their front four, and we knew that going in that they were really good and real strong. So that battle up front between our O-line and their D-line.
All right, thanks so much. Listen over, Tom.
Coach, so much talk about Oregon's offensive tempo. How would you assess how your defense has handled it?
I think they're playing great. We've given up one big play right now. Our guys are focused. They've been ready to play. They were ready for this challenge, and they'll be ready the second half, too.
Good luck in the second half, Coach.
Welcome back to the second half of the Tostitos BCS National Championship, brought to you by the Fiesta
First of
Bowl.
all, Auburn, I think we all sense that Auburn's offense really started to find themselves there in the second quarter. I think it's important for Oregon to continue to not worry about their stats when it comes to running the football. If you're getting beat up front, you've got to be able to get the ball out on the perimeter, whether it's running or passing. But I think we're in store for a very exciting second half where both offenses make the adjustments and really start coming after these two defenses.
So we shall see what adjustments were made. Ran into Nick Aliotti, who was coming back into the box, the coach's box. I was getting ready to say, you know what he said? How we doing? That's Washington from the 5. Cuts back to the left. And he is out of bounds on the far side, about the 28-yard line, as we take a look at tonight's Taco Bell touchdown spotlight.
One of the opportunities Cam Newton had in the first half was isolating his wide receiver, Emory Blake, against defensive end outside linebacker Kenny Rowe. The good thing Cam does here is step up away from the pressure from big Zach Clark, and he just throws it to a wide open receiver. And again, when you get a wide receiver matched up against a defensive end, that's a mismatch. You have to take advantage of it, and that's what Cam Newton did there in the second quarter.
Here's the freshman. And Newton keeping it. And that is Eric Smith being tended to. Newton steps away. Going to take off, dive for the first down. I'm not sure he's not going to get it. He's about a yard short. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 1. And now we've got an injured Duck player being tended to, and that's Terrell Turner.
Trying to dive for the first down. He came up a little bit short. You wonder, as he goes down, did he end up coming down on that shoulder or maybe even a wrist? Kind of a different twist here in the national championship. And the safety, look at the hands here by the big fella, the senior, Matt Blanc. Securing and holding on to LaMichael James as he extends to get the entire ball outside of that goal line, which he was unable to do. But Matt Blanc, who would ever thought that before the game started, that he would have the All-State hands play of the game.
Eric is back on the field. Newton for the 1 and a first down to the 40-yard line.
And vice versa. When they sit two safeties back, they're going to run.
Here's Dyer. And he battles for about 4. And Kenny Rowe hanging on. Newton stands tall. Great time, far side. And there is Lutzenkirchen, his first catch of the evening.
Well, they slide him out of the backfield, and what a good job by Cam Newton showing patience. You see him out of the backfield, matched up again, and guess who's trying to trail him? Once again, it's Kenny Rowe, isolated out in coverage, out in space, and Lutzenkirchen makes him pay for it.
Not a quick strike outside, and Harris jumped on that route. He was all over Zachary. They're very lucky that Harris didn't get there a fraction of a second earlier. He would have gone to the house.
You're absolutely right. He's a risk taker. They know that about Cliff Harris, and they will come back to that play on a double move to try to get him to bite and go around him. They're taking notes on the sideline. Gus Malzahn already knew that Cliff Harris will take chances. That confirmed it. I guarantee you they will go back to that look and try to go after Cliff Harris by biting up like that.
Fannin in the backfield, and Newton follows him short of the 10-yard line. He's down at about the 11. Emory Blake is slotted to the right. Smith back on the field, in the backfield. There's that little play action fake, and incomplete. I think we got a shot of Malzahn, and he was not throwing bouquets at Cam Newton down there either. This is a 28-yard field goal. Good. And so it is 19-11. Home of the Arizona Cardinals, and a beautiful dome stadium here jammed to the rafters. It was a tough ticket. There's Malzahn and Newton going over something. And comes up out. A yard in the end zone. There's that end around look again, and he keeps it. And that time they were faking. They brought LaMichael James around, and they thought that the coverage team might jump on it.
Thomas's arm has been a big factor for Oregon. Oregon has not been able to run the football as much as they're accustomed to doing, so Thomas has had to throw it.
They're going to try the running game right away with LaMichael James carrying it, and Igwe makes the stop.
I don't think they're going to... Oh, we got another penalty here.
Flags are flying.
Following the play, personal foul, number 90 on the defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
What's interesting about this is Nick Fairley has a reputation of being a dirty player. In fact, Darren Thomas, the Oregon quarterback, came out and said, yeah, he is a dirty player. Look at that right there. Fairley's been doing that all year. He did it this time right in front of the referee, and it cost him 15 yards.
Chizik not happy, but he leaves him on the field. Quick strike, 2-A, crosses midfield for a first down, and McNeil unloads on it.
Boy, nice job by 2-A of catching the ball in traffic and then getting underneath Josh Bynes right there. It's a middle linebacker getting ready to knock you out. He secures the football and then cuts back underneath him and picks up more yards getting across midfield.
Well, they look determined to use a running game. They come with LaMichael again.
Thomas that time made the proper read on the outside of Antoine Carter, but they're not getting any push at all against the interior of that Auburn defensive line. There's nowhere to run their option attack, even though they're reading the right man that time.
Busting into the open is LaMichael James for a first down. One of his best runs of the night.
Brent, this is tough sledding inside. Watch him run through the arm tackle of Fairley right there. Same guy that just pushed him down over the head for 15 yards. This time he runs right through would-be tackle and picks up a first down.
We're going back to the old basics, and Darren is sacked from behind by Fairley.
Carson York, unenviable position of being one-on-one against Fairley. The center, Jordan Holmes, tries to help out. And this is a mismatch on the backside of the quarterback, Darren Thomas. Oregon's offensive linemen are able to see the football and able to pick it up to avoid the turnover. Great play by the big fella that time, getting a little revenge, getting back to Oregon.
Pulls it back. Darren tries to drop it off. Can't find a receiver. Runs for the first down, and there's a flag.
Number 79 offense. 10-yard penalty for the spot of foul. Still second down.
And Mark Asper.
Instead of Thomas giving up on the play, he decides to scramble. Look at Asper. He really locked onto the jersey there. Carter put up his hand saying, somebody call this. And finally they did.
On 2nd and 16, an inside running play with Varner. And Josh Bynes, their fine middle linebacker.
Boy, Nick Fairley right now and Michael James going back and forth, jawing at each other as Bynes is going off the field. Remember, they got familiar with one another on the circuit, traveling around to the award shows. He's still talking to him.
And a freshman, Jake Holland, has checked in as the middle linebacker for Auburn. Jordan Holmes getting square with the quarterback. Pressure coming. Thomas drops it off underneath to Mail. Mail slips. Can't get his footing.
How about this? Instead of rushing Fairley and Blanc, two of the enforcers, they drop him back in coverage. Look at Fairley dropping back in coverage. Fairley's dropping like a linebacker with a zone pressure look. And instead of coming after the quarterback, they try to confuse Oregon's offensive line, and Fairley ends up making a play out in space against Mayo.
Hangs it high, beautiful punt. But it rolls on into the end zone. laid down following the Fiesta Bowl. Dyer, the running back, in the backfield, gets this carry, tries to get the edge, and he's out of bounds after about a 5-yard gain. Let's go down below now to Tom Rinaldi.
Well, Brent, teams from both sides have been slipping since the opening kickoff in this game. On the Auburn side, they've been taking out rubber mats with huge rubber spikes on them. Every change of possession, the offense and defense rubs their cleats through it to try to improve their traction. Look for it for the rest of the game.
All right, Tom, 2nd and 5. Newton is wrestled to the ground.
Deion Jordan steps in for Terrell Turner, who went out earlier and comes down. Makes it very, very tough. That's a read for Cam Newton. He's trying to figure out if Jordan is going to take McCaleb or take Cam Newton. He had such acceleration that he disrupted the play before Cam Newton had any chance at all to read.
Fake, deep down the middle. He overthrew Adams. Adams had a couple of steps.
3rd and long, and Eddie Pleasant is going to bite on the inside move by Darvin Adams right there. He accelerates right by him. Pleasant's out of position, and if he puts just a little bit more air under it, Darvin Adams has another big touchdown for this Auburn offense.
Now they're going to try Harris as the punt return man against California in Berkeley. Oregon was struggling, and Harris took a punt to the house for a touchdown. Sophomore out of Fresno, California. Beautiful punt. And out of bounds. There you are. Full set of 3D cameras covering it here tonight. So here come the Ducks. And LaMichael James cuts behind Darren Thomas, lead blocker. That was something. LaMichael was motioning to Darren to get out in front of him and pave the way for him. And LaMichael had an alley.
Great vision, great patience. Just a good job of cutting back the play design to the right. Thomas willing to get downfield. He picks up a block on Mike McNeil.
Now they come right back with the running back again.
There's a lot of pushing and shoving, and right now this Auburn defense trying to impose their will on LaMichael James the last few series.
Play action. Darren Thomas rolls. Incomplete. And now Etheridge on that far side is down. And they can ill afford to lose this young man who is such a remarkable story. He injured his neck. And some thought he would not play football again, but he was able to come back.
He just came off the field with a left hand injury. He has 3 trainers surrounding him right now. They're looking at the top of his hand right now.
So we've got James down. That's why Barner is in the backfield, and we've got 2 big-time players down with Etheridge on the other side.
Yeah, Etheridge, as you said, is a big loss. Demetrius McNeil, true freshman, comes into the game.
Here's Darren, has time, can't find a receiver, and he is ridden out of bounds by Zach Clayton. It is now 4th down, and look at the pressure that shows up here for Auburn. They coax a fake, drops it off. There it is. Great game planning by Chip Kelly, who had an automatic if they pressed and came off the gunner. And he threw the ball to Marvin Johnson for the first down. What a big play.
Brent, look at the touch and the patience here by Rice. I mean, look at this. Oh, wait. The guy's closing in on him, and he just shot puts it right over top of the defender, McNeil, who's in coverage. Chip Kelly again with the courage to make this call on 4th down. Another fake punt. They've done it a lot this year.
There's the play action. Darren Thomas strikes deep, high, 2-8, touchdown. Oh, what a no! He's tripped up on the 3-yard line. What a grab. Oh, what a catch by the young man. And McNeil saves the score. 43 yards.
2A has had a great game, and I love the call by Chip Kelly. After getting the Auburn defense off the field, they've got to come back on the field after the fake punt. What concentration. A good throw that time by Darren Thomas. And the bigger receiver, 2A, goes up to make the catch at 6'5".
Now the Ducks will try to finish. Varner is jammed and thrown back by Lamanner. Second and goal.
Looking over at the play charts, seeing the adjustments here. Paulson has been a target. Jeff Mail could be a target.
Darren wants it himself. And he can't get away from the defense. McNeil is there.
Auburn defense is going to make you earn it if you're going to try to run the football inside the 10-yard line. Even though they just gave up that big play to 2A, they take so much pride in making teams have to throw to get the ball into the end zone.
And LaMichael James returns. Varner to the 1. 4th down and goal, and Fairley trips him up.
Without this effort here by Nick Fairley, look at him. He does not give up on that play. And if he doesn't chase that down, Varner gets into the end zone for a touchdown. Great effort that time by the big man.
Varner, and he is stopped. A great goal line stand by the Auburn Tigers, and there is a fired-up coach, Teddy Roof.
Watch Nick Fairley get penetration, completely just pushing the Oregon offensive line, and Jordan Holmes back into the backfield, allowing the rest of the Auburn defense to corral and get in on Kenyon Varner. McNeil is in there, the corner dip, Delon Washington.
The Auburn defensive line led to a safety when Michael James could not get the ball completely out of the end zone. Here is Cam Newton to the 4-yard line on 1st down and 7. Snaps it off, complete for a 1st down. Lexington, that's his 2nd reception. Dyer.
The other thing, the size of the Auburn offensive line beginning to kind of take control at the line of scrimmage, which means Nick Aliotti is going to have to continue to take chances by putting more people up close to the line of scrimmage against the run.
Dyer almost kept it, and Newton went, but there's a flag.
Holding, 73 offense, 10-yard penalty, beat 2nd down.
That's Lee Zimba, one of the fine offensive lineman, left tackle.
Zimba right there on the left side. He locks up with Casey Matthews and prevents Matthews from getting out there to make a play on Cam Newton in that running game.
Ryan Pugh out of Hoover, Alabama. Over the ball is the center. He's the ringleader of this veteran offensive line. All day. Newton steps out of bounds with a 1st down.
Well, Kenny Rowe, the defensive end again in the crosshairs of Auburn's offense, this time spying against Cam Newton and trying to make a play in space against the bigger quarterback.
Dyer. That was plugged up pretty well in the middle as he tried to step over to the right. That offensive line deserves some recognition for Auburn. Brandon Mosley is over at right tackle, number 75. He started 10 games. Isom started 31 games. Pugh, 45. Berry, 34. And Zimba, 51. If you're an Auburn fan, you're familiar with this. The team breaks its huddle and heads toward its fan base. Out in front, number 2, Cam Newton. 1 quarter to go for a BCS national championship. They lead by 1 score. They have a 2nd down and 9 from their own 25-yard line. Dyer, 3rd and short coming up.
Okay, Dyer has done a good job tonight running the football on the inside. 16 tough carries, 74 yards. And as always, 3rd and short, number 2, direct snap. Going to carry the football here for a 1st down. No.
Gave it away that time, and Dyer picked it up and then some.
How about that? Dyer has had a great game. The true freshman has been so big this year. He's actually over 1,000 yards now on the season. Broke the freshman record of Bo Jackson. And because he's able to run on the inside, it sets everything else up on the outside in the play-action pass.
Looking for an open target. Drops it off out of bounds.
He wanted to throw off to his right. And again, they run Dyer, they run McCaleb, and then they try to get you out of position. How many times have we seen a double move here? This time he's going to go to the outcut against Jackson. He was able to hold on there with his footing. He had Jackson backing out.
Zachary comes in toward the formation. And the clock.
Timeout. Auburn. First team timeout.
Gus Malzahn must have caught that from the sideline before the clock ran.
Well, the season-ending award. There it is, the Coach's Trophy presented by Dr. Pepper, and that will be awarded tonight to our winner. They will celebrate the championship. For Oregon, it would be the first in the school's history, and for Auburn, it would be their 2nd. Newton. Matthews, and over on that far side, he is down short of the 1st down. It's interesting to look at the number of plays that have been run by these two teams. When you play Oregon, they put up about 70-some snaps a game. They've had only 52 today against the Auburn defense. 67 for Malzahn and the Auburn offense. So, in effect, they have taken the Oregon game away from them here tonight. 3rd down. In trouble, incomplete, and he had Blake.
Risk here by Oregon's defense because they brought the house. They brought the linebackers, all 3 of them here. They brought 1 extra man that Auburn could handle up front, and it left their defensive backs one-on-one. If Blake's able to hold on to that, he's able to pick up the 1st down and a lot more yards.
So here we go, Herbie. Harris is back deep. Oregon needs a spark. 19-11. Harris, and he is just ripped down. Chip Kelly trailing for the 1st time in the 4th quarter this season. Darren Thomas rolling to the right. 1 hopper incomplete. Last 4 drives are to tell everybody how they have struggled offensively.
Going back to the safety where it started, obviously that drive started at their own 1-yard line. From that point on, a punt, and then being stopped at the 1-yard line when they went for it on 4th.
Michael picks his way. That is a penalty flag. This is an all-star crew.
Holding. Offense. Number 42. Half the distance to the goal. Still 2nd down.
Bill Lamagnier, the referee. I know that some Big Ten crews had some issues earlier in the bowl season. This crew has done a very good job here tonight. This is an outstanding officiating. The Rascals will be coming. And they've got him fairly. That's close to a horse collar. I wonder how he likes Carolina blue.
Brent, they want to read the in-man on the line of scrimmage, Carter. But to do that, it's a good run. It's Goggins actually on the end. To the far left. See how Goggins stays outside? They want to run it into the middle, but they're not getting any kind of push whatsoever up front that time by C.E. Kaiser, who got dominated by Fairley. If you don't get Fairley and the Auburn defensive line tired on long drives and tempo, Oregon has no chance to execute their offense.
3rd and 18. They're coming after Thomas. He got it out. Complete. Paulson. And Paulson is out of bounds, bailed out. Darren Thomas with a splendid job of saving this play, and then 42 worked his way open from 33 yards.
They brought the pressure by Josh Bynes. Watch Michael James, Brent. Good job of the blitz pickup. Buys enough time. And how about the patience and the vision downfield as the pressure was coming around Darren Thomas.
So here come the Ducks now. First down and 10. Play fake again, drills it for another first down to the far side, and DJ Davis.
On that throw, and we watched them this week in practice, they practice it a lot. It's a quick fake. They try to get the cornerback, the defensive back, up close pass, and then Darren Thomas has to throw the ball on a rope to get the ball out there in space to Davis.
Etheridge back on the field. Remember, he was injured earlier in the game. Thomas fires deep downfield, and Etheridge was the defender right there, breaking it up. Didn't have much of a chance of completing that pass to Jeff Mayle.
He locked on a little bit too long here because Jeff Mayle has a history of making plays. He tried to get him behind that. Ball is actually thrown downfield there, and Mayle did everything he could. He went back to being his old free safety days and trying to keep the ball away from Etheridge.
Second down and 10 from the Auburn 49. That screen to Davis. Got an extra defensive back out for 3rd and 8. Hit as he releases it. Incomplete.
You had Jeff Mayle on the outside that should have run, because of the coverage, a vertical. They weren't able to pick up Bynes because they didn't have enough men inside. Mayle's got to continue downfield and try to beat Washington downfield with quickness and speed to be able to separate from the smaller defensive back. He misread that. The quarterback threw it deep, and Mayle tried to cut it a little bit short.
And it was a whistle prior to the punt.
Delay a game. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
And it'll be out of bounds. So Auburn will take over on its own 21-yard line when you come back. McCaleb lost a yard.
Towards the Auburn sideline, running back to the short side of the field, where McCaleb's speed and his big plays have been to the wide side of the field because of his speed on the perimeter.
Pump fake by Cam. Newton dances away from Bear, and then it is incomplete. A fine play. Matthews.
Again, 2nd long, and they use Kenny Rowe in that spiral from the right to the left. See how he moves into the middle? He's just waiting for Cam Newton to potentially take off and scramble, but give the Oregon coverage that time the credit for eventually Cam Newton getting pressure. Defensive linemen all standing up. We've seen it all night. When they get Auburn to 3rd and long, they want to create confusion, try to keep the offensive line and Cam Newton guessing on where the pressure may eventually come from.
Arioti loves pressure on 3rd and 12. This time they stay back, and Newton burns them. Cam Newton found a seam and ran it out to the 38-yard line before he was drilled, and he is getting up slowly.
All that moving around and the creativity backfires here on Oregon. This almost looks like a designed quarterback draw here on 3rd down and long. Picks up a nice seal block that time by Mike Berry, and then has, of course, great speed, accelerates upfield for the first down.
Inside of 10 minutes. Dyer. Paysinger with the stop. Remember, he has already been a coordinator on a national championship team for Mac Brown and Texas. when they beat USC out in the Rose Bowl. Chiswick was the defensive play caller that night for Mack. And here comes Newton, his quarterback. And he is down. 3rd down and 5.
Working that play clock.
Play action. Drops it off for a 1st and 10 to Fannin. Fannon's first catch of the night. And he is into Oregon territory.
This is a really nice job by Mario Fannin, the senior. Watch him coming out of the backfield. Just patiently work back to the middle, getting away from the linebackers, finds the opening. He has become their 3rd down back and does a good job of being in sync with Cam Newton. There's a big time. There's Bo Jackson cheering him on. You can tell that Cam feels very comfortable with Mario Fannin on those 3rd downs.
Dyer hit in the backfield for a loss, and that was a fine move by Kenny Rowe. Fewest points that Oregon has scored this season, if this stands. They scored 15 in beating Cal, and that was their season low. And the Auburn coaches spent a lot of time going over the Cal tapes because the Cal defense of Jeff Tedford played very well against the Ducks. Here's a little pump fake by Newton. And threw high outside. And Fannin, the 3rd down back that Herbie talked about, is back in the game. Blitz pickup. Throws deep down that far side. And is he out of bounds? That was very close to Zachary.
Zachary usually catches the ball close to the line of scrimmage. Once he secures the football, clearly out of bounds. So the Oregon defense, again, holds up and gets the ball back to their offense, providing there is a fake punt here on 4th down or a fumble on the return, and gets the ball back to Darren Thomas now with 6:42 to go.
Handles the low snap and does not give Harris a chance. Our crowd tonight, 78,603. That is the largest crowd in this stadium's history. And the Auburn fans are enjoying this greatly right now. 6.5 minutes away from their 2nd national championship. Darren Thomas incomplete on that 1st down throw to an A, the intended target. It'll be 2nd and 10. Third and 10. And that was Antoine Carter, who made, in my mind, the biggest play of the year for this Auburn team against Alabama.
He sure had a great play when he caught up to Mark Ingram. And here this time with Auburn, and they just are pinning their ears back. They know what Oregon's trying to do here. Throwing the football. That time, good job by Carter, not getting blocked, jumping up and knocking it down.
First down. They went back to number 23, Jeff Mail. Everyone who plays him says, you know, he is really sneaky fast.
And the accuracy that time by Thomas of putting the ball right where it had to be allowed Mail to catch the football, turn, and get upfield in a hurry to get the first down.
116 yards receiving by Mail here tonight. Incomplete. DJ Davis was the target. Mike McNeil was there. Herbie, when you look at this number, it's overwhelming. Oregon averages 303 yards rushing a game. Tonight they're down at 75.
Well, they knew the battle up front was probably going to favor Auburn because of Nick Fairley and that entire group. The only way they're going to run the ball is if they got them tired with their tempo. They've not been able to do that.
Here's Mail again. Trying to slip through for the first down, but he's short of it, and here comes a big 3rd down for the Ducks. Hit in the backfield by Carter. Antoine Carter breaks through on Michael James and throws him for a loss. The SEC defense standing tall again.
Well, it's easy to say this, but Darren Thomas, that was his read. Carter collapses down, and he actually took both of them out. Thomas and that time, James.
Adams with the fair catch. Well, Oregon did threaten. Varner stuffed.
Twice inside the red zone, once an interception, once turning it over on downs, coming away with nothing inside Auburn's 20-yard line. Give Auburn's credit to the defensive line, especially that play that you just showed, that we just showed, kind of symbolic of the way this entire game has gone for Oregon's offensive line when it comes to their running game.
Now Zimba, Berry, Pugh, Isom, and Mosley, that offensive line, will try to put it away. 5 minutes. Newton.
That's where Nick Aliotti and the defense clearly have to take chances and just overload the line of scrimmage and blitz Cam Newton.
2nd down and 9. 5 minutes left. Ducks need the ball back in a hurry. Fumble! And they've got it. Harris jumps on it. The big turnover. And there is a penalty flag. Hold on, the line judge threw a penalty flag.
Following the fumble and recovery, we have a dead ball personal foul, number 45. That 15-yard penalty be assessed. First down, Oregon.
So we brag about him, and then he goes out and commits a personal foul. And
Brett, watch the effort here by Casey Matthews. He realizes he's got to make a play. He comes all the way from the backside against Cam Newton and did exactly what we just showed with Antoine Carter against Alabama. You said they need to make a play to get the ball back in a hurry. Was this fast enough? What great effort by the senior Casey Matthews to knock that football loose, and the Ducks have life here now late in this game.
Matthews, one of the great football families in this country. Son of Clay, who played great linebacker for the Browns. His brother's a star with the Green Bay Packers, going down to play Atlanta over the weekend, a playoff game. Now Darren Thomas. Here's Jeff Mayo. So number 23 has now become the go-to guy.
Great read that time by Thomas. Soft coverage by Auburn. And right now, Oregon is thinking, hey, let's make the safe throw, the easy throw. If Auburn's going to crowd the line of scrimmage and crowd these wide receivers, Thomas eventually is going to have to take a chance and try to get behind them on single coverage. And the receivers got to get separation.
Almost intercepted. Tynes, the linebacker, was standing there, and it was an ill-advised throw.
Well, the snap isn't the greatest, but nonetheless, look at Nick Fairley again. Again, in the line of scrimmage, setting up camp every time that Darren Thomas drops back to throw the football.
2nd and 10. Thomas takes off, and he is out of bounds short of the first down. So here comes your 3rd down.
You and I called some games last year with Ndamukong Suh, who just took games over as a defensive tackle. And I didn't know how long we would have to wait to see another Ndamukong Suh. Nick Fairley this year in college football has become that kind of player where he could take a game over as an enforcer in the middle of that Auburn defense.
3rd and 5. Incomplete, and it'll come to this 4th down. 2-A, the target had him open.
2-A, we just talked about separation. You get a matchup with a wide receiver isolated one-on-one against a safety in Zach Etheridge, who's been fighting cramps to stay on the field. 2-A got the separation. He was wide open. Thomas just missed the throw.
Michael James goes far to the left. They come back underneath, and a great grab for a 1st down. Davis is smacked at the 10-yard line by McNeil. And the LaMichael James to the left side set this up coming the other way.
Brett, watch the umpire here set a screen on Zach Etheridge. He's in play. He's part of the game. But the umpire sets a screen and frees Davis after he makes the catch to get the 1st down and then get downfield and down to the 10-yard line.
Ducks need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Drop it down over the middle. Paulson upended at the 4-yard line and out of bounds. McNeil.
Ducks have been inside the red zone and come away with nothing. Once an interception. Once they went for it on 4th down, it came up a yard short. Back inside the red zone. Remember, they can get a first down inside the 1-yard line. It's not 2nd and goal.
Caught him moving. They caught fairly.
Offside with contact. Number 90 on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. Still 2nd down.
Surprised we've not seen this a little bit earlier, where you try, they're jumping the count a little bit, and a lot of times the offensive lineman will come back and tell the quarterback, hey, let's try to go with a freeze count to try to get them. That time it worked, and Jordan Holmes, the center, was pretty excited.
Short. Stuffed. Mike McNeil, coming up from his safety spot.
Tell you why it's important that Oregon hold on to their 2 timeouts. If they figure out a way to score down inside this 5-yard line of Auburn's, and they don't make the 2-point conversion, they need those timeouts to try to stop Auburn and get the ball back.
This is where they have backed up here tonight against this Auburn front.
Thomas has got to fake it, get outside, and give him an option to run or throw. There's no success at all in the interior of this Auburn defense. Got to get outside.
Timeout.
Oh, that was big.
Burn a timeout with 2 seconds on that clock. There's the young man who forced the fumble by Newton. Casey Matthews was on the all Pac-10 first team. A year ago, he was on the second team. Had 3 interceptions this year at that middle linebacker spot.
And they threw a pass deep in Auburn's territory where they rolled to the right and threw back to James for an easy touchdown. They're not going to have any luck running into the middle of the defense. They've got to either throw it or get outside on the perimeter to give themselves a chance.
Touchdown, Oregon. LaMichael James. Now the 2-point conversion.
That's why that timeout, Brent, that they ended up using on the previous play is so important. For if they missed a 2-point conversion, they're now only down to 1 timeout.
Runs down the snap, fires back for the 2. Jeff Mail got it. We are deadlocked at 19.
This all started, Brent, as you mentioned, with the effort by Casey Matthews to knock the ball away from the Heisman winner, Cam Newton, which eventually Oregon was able to secure there with Cliff Harris. Then a big, pivotal 4th down play, trying to convert, trying to come up with something to keep the play alive. The umpire gets in the way of Zach Etheridge. Davis gets downfield inside the red zone. What a call by Chip Kelly on the touchdown. Draws Greg Stevens towards Darren Thomas. Dumps it on the shovel pass underneath with the lane there to run. And a 2-point conversion. Jeff Mail knew exactly where he wanted to go. You'll see him come from the right to the left. Thomas handles the snap. Knew exactly that he was going to eventually throw it back without even looking to Jeff Mail. And Mail holds on to the football for the 2-point conversion. The only problem is now you gave Cam Newton 2:33 to go with 2 timeouts.
So it is 10 o'clock Mountain Time here in the Phoenix, Arizona area. Those of you who are channel surfing, we welcome you. We are 2.5 minutes away from the second overtime in the history of the BCS National Championship. Washington from the 3. Busts the tackle, and he's down at the 25-yard line. And here comes Cam Newton, the Heisman Trophy winner. 2:27 and 2 timeouts. Gus Malzahn, the signal caller, alongside him. And here we go.
This is the stage that Cam Newton wants. Game's tied. It's a year where you won the Heisman Trophy. He's been through so much adversity. He's got the game in his hands, the ball in his hands, trying to get a field goal or more to win this game for the Tigers.
Flare outside, and Blake runs for a first down.
Little things like accuracy from Cam Newton. Missed tackle by Oregon allows Blake to pick up a nice chunk of yards out to their own 40.
And now Auburn starts to pick the tempo up a little bit. Remember, they have an excellent field goal specialist. Dyer, the freshman, is wrestled down at the 46-yard line. Pleasant, and he gets back up. Dyer gets back up. Was he not on the ground? Did he stay on top of Pleasant? The Ducks are saying, wait a minute, he was down. But everybody is moving up there.
Brent, I think he would have stopped running if it weren't for his own sideline. His entire sideline told him to keep going.
37 yards. Let's take a look at this. His body
is under review.
And we will review it, because I'll tell you, from that look, I did not see a knee down on the ground. Now, I know it's a first look, but take a closer look here, Herbie.
Well, he comes down on top.
The right knee is the question.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, because he was close to his own sideline, I think they encouraged him to keep running and not give up on the play. He was ready to stop right there. And then I think he heard people yelling, go, go, go. Officials never blew it dead on the field.
The question is going to be, was the right leg down as Pleasant wrestled him to the ground? That will be the issue here. So, Herbie, the question is, was the entire body on top of the defender here?
He looks like he's on top of the defender to me. I mean, he got his hand down, but he got his hand down, but he got the palm of his hand down.
One of the biggest instant replay decisions we've seen at a BCS National Championship game. The ball has been spotted at the Oregon 23-yard line. Right there. It looks like you can see daylight.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Derek Mobley and Bill Bonnell blowing up those pictures down in the truck are outstanding replay people down there rewinding the tape so you can get a closer look at it. And here comes the call of the night by this officiating crew right here. Steve Beckman will make the decision. Dave Perry gave us the rule, and here we go.
Following the review, the ruling on the field stands.
First down and 10. We are inside of 2 minutes. Dyer busting ahead across the 20. And remember what I told you about Wes Byram at the end of the first half. His career long is a 52-yarder. His long this season is a 48-yarder at Mississippi. Wes Byram is out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. He is the all-time scoring leader at Auburn with more than 355 points.
And he also has five game-winning field goals in his career. He has 2 of those this year. Now Cam Newton is just going to kill as much clock as he can and eventually get the ball to the middle of the field.
And the freshman Michael Dyer from Little Rock, Arkansas, comes up big along with that Tiger defense. And now they'll center it up inside of a minute.
looking at about a 35-yard field goal from
Dyer busts for the end zone. Reaches for it. Touchdown. Take a seat, Mr. Byron. Mr. Dyer says there'll be no field goal tonight. Let's take this to the house.
Dyer, as he got the right knee looks like it may have been down. We'll have to see where the football was. This will be a great look right here. It's completely surprising Oregon.
That time he's down. Yeah, but where is the ball?
Yep, that's going to come down to where the football was.
No
the
question.
Right knee touched.
No question.
Previous play is under review.
But Brent, the play itself, it hit so fast that it just shocked Oregon's defense. Dyer puts an exclamation point on his night tonight. What he's been able to do now, 144 yards for the true freshman in the national title. If Boyette did not come over, he would have just taken Eddie Pleasant into the end zone. Knee is down. Tough to see it from that angle where the football is. Up being a true freshman, playing high school football in Little Rock last year on this big a stage, having this kind of night. Looks like he's a little bit short.
I think so.
Yeah.
The review. It's been determined that the runner's knee was down. The ball was at the half-yard line. It'll be first goal at the half-yard line. The clock will start on the ready for play.
Because of the size advantage that Auburn has, 45 pounds per man up front.
Right.
You've got to just go right into the middle, right up between the right guard or left guard. Oh, they're kicking a field goal. Oh, my man. What the heck?
I thought maybe you were going to send Byram on a run up here now.
Yeah.
So here it comes. The senior, the St. Thomas Aquinas, and timeout. They're called by the Ducks.
I still, with 10 seconds, would consider running the football. You got 2 timeouts. I just don't trust kickers is my problem. You know?
You're not alone in the football community with that.
He has 5 game-winning kicks in his career, 2 this year. He's used to it. He's a senior. He's made some big kicks.
I think Malzahn might be lobbying. That's for you, Herbie. Your point of view.
Run the big.
I think Malzahn is lobbying.
That's what they must have. Did somebody call them from up here? Run the football and use your timeout.
I think that's exactly what happened. I think Malzahn went into that huddle because Newton's going for his helmet.
Go get it, big fella. Go.
Here we come.
I say nothing. This is how the season should end, right? Cam Newton, by far the player of the year in the country, should score the game-winning touchdown.
Well, they're going to take time off the clock is what they're going to do here with this formation.
Maybe.
Make sure that Oregon doesn't have a chance to return the kickoff is what they're going to try to do. And he's tried to sneak in first of all and didn't make it, and now they've got to stop it. So now Auburn wins the BCS National Championship. To 19. The confetti flying here in Glendale. And the SEC has now won 5 consecutive BCS national championships. So let's go down below.
Thanks very much, Brent. Alongside Gene Chizik and Cam Newton. Gene, everyone predicted a high-scoring shootout, but you said throughout the key matchup in this game was going to be your defensive front against their offensive line. How did that bear out in this game?
Well, let me tell you what. First of all, I just can't be more blessed to be a part of a whole team like this. Man, God was with us. Our defense played outstanding today. We knew they were going to play outstanding today. We worked our rear end off all month long. This is for the Auburn fans. This is for the Auburn family. I couldn't be more proud of everybody involved. I love everybody. War Eagle.
Gene, from where you were 2 years ago, everything you endured when you left Iowa State to this moment, what does this moment mean to you, given that journey?
Look around. Look around. It's all about the fans. It's all the people that stuck with us through thick and thin. We got the greatest fans in the country. We got the greatest administration in the country. We got the best players in the country. It's not about me. It's about Auburn University today.
Finally, G to G, your motto this season. You were good last season. You wanted to be great this season. What made that happen?
I think it was our coaches, our players, a sense of chemistry of our team that I've never seen before. Today, I can tell you this. We're the best football team in the United States of America, and War Eagle.
Congratulations, Gene. Cam Newton. Heading into that final drive. Score tied. Less than 3 minutes to go. What did you tell your team in that huddle?
Everybody was just staying calm. You know, we've been through this before. And, you know, we had to execute the plays that Coach was calling, and we had to stay calm and just execute.
You have had so much adversity. This team has come from behind, but you personally, you fought through it. You've maintained your focus throughout. How would you describe your own journey from Blinn when you left there to get here?
You know, it's just a God thing. You know, I thank God every single day. You know, I'm just his instrument, and he's using me on a consistent basis daily. You know, I just want to, you know, he's using me to extend his word. And I'm a prime example of how God can turn something that was bad into something that was very great.
What did this season teach you about you, your family, what you believe that you didn't know before it happened?
Anything is possible. I guarantee you 5 or 6 months ago, nobody would have, you know, betted their last dollar to say that Auburn University is winning the national championship. But now, on January 10, 2011, you know, we're smiling right now saying, you know, we did it.
National champions for the first time in more than half a century. Cam Newton, congratulations. Brent?
Tom, thank you very much. So Wes Byram scored all of Auburn's points in the second half. Early, he had a 28-yard field goal. Then, with 2 ticks of the clock left, the last play of the game, the 19-yarder to send Auburn to a second national championship, 22-19. Cam Newton on the sideline. Now watch Coach Gene Chizik. And there's always another side.
First of all, congratulations to the Oregon Ducks on a great season. We also want to thank the longest running title sponsor in the BCS, Tostitos Frito-Lays. But it's time now to present the Coach's Trophy, presented by Dr. Pepper, and Bill Hancock will do that, Executive Director of the BCS.
Thank you, John. On behalf of the 11 conferences that manage the BCS, first I want to congratulate both of these fine teams on a great effort tonight and throughout the season. And now on behalf of the American Football Coaches Association, it's my honor to present the Coach's Trophy presented by Dr. Pepper to Coach Gene Chizik and the Auburn Tigers.